Battle of Fort Erie, part of the War of 1812, it's just awesome. It's explosions, it's hundreds of reenactors running around, and it's unlike anything you'll ever see in another flying film, another aerial ride out there anywhere.
Today is, I will say, probably one of the most exciting opportunities for us to capture an amazing moment in Niagara's history. We have the largest shot in terms of extras today, fire explosives, cannons.
Everyone's just kind of getting settled in. We've got tents going in over there, tents going in over here. The excitement's palpable right now, you can feel it. There's a lot of reasoning on why. I mean, historically, it's a very important moment. You can't come to Niagara Parks and not go see. So this was a unique opportunity to show people, like just to give them a little nudge to go check it out, go learn a little bit about Canada's history.
Sadly, in a historically bloody battle fought between the Americans and the British that nobody won. But this was a pivotal battle, ultimately the formation and Canada becoming a country.
We're flying a 50-pound lawnmower with a cinema camera on it. We're basically taking this image and it's getting blown up on a 20-meter screen. It's a super fun, one-of-a-kind piece of technology that we have here. The drone is not just flying high, we're flying low along the ground. You will hear it on the radio, drone is up. Drone up! We're going to stage everybody in places where we feel that everybody's safe at all times. The main part of it is be aware.
When it was on the list initially, it got knocked off the list. There was like the must-haves, and then I saw it on the would be nice to haves, you know? And I think they understood the undertaking. They realized actually filming this is very challenging. I saw that and I was like, there's no way, we have to include this. And it was one of those shots that I said that I would actually fall on the sword for to make sure that it gets in this film, right from day one.
Forward, and you're gonna have to tell me when we're pushing the frame, but that means I can pull everybody else in the field forward.
Yes.
So I'm responsible for who moves where and when, but also how it all happens. How did the soldiers do this according to the way the Army would have actually done things?
One of the other key players was Peter Twist. So this gentleman is a gem. He has worked on multiple Hollywood films, including Pirates of the Caribbean, and his job is actually choreography and showing directors like myself how it should look.
The biggest part of the coordination is making sure we have people in place for camera that we want. All over with the sailors and the other redcoats, please. So that the camera doesn't get a little clump here and a huge empty space somewhere else. So we're distributing the troops. They're all going to converge towards a point so that it will all flow with the flight of the drone. We also have to do it within the realm of safety. For example, each of these cannons has a cone that you can't put people in because they'd be endangered. What we're doing in a 35-second drone pass is capturing the artillery bombarding the fort, the soldiers moving forward to attack, the defenders in the fort firing from behind barricades and walls, and finally culminating in the explosion of the magazine in the basket.
So the siege of Fort Erie involves a lot of explosions. That's what makes it super fun and dynamic to fly through. So we brought in a special team that has been working here for a very long time, and they're very familiar with the area.
So what we're doing today is we're trying to get the timing for the drone by putting small explosive charges where the main explosive charges are going to be or where the cannons are going to fire, and the drone gets them in exactly the right time sequence. Right now what we're doing is we're using black powder bombs. They're specialized bombs used in the special effects industry that give you the illusion that a ground explosion has taken place, but it's totally safe.
Over the course of several months, it was just phone call after phone call after phone call, and just going through how we would trigger certain explosions.
This is a 1 pound black powder charge. So we have 2 of these that go off simultaneously, and we cover it with peat moss, and the peat moss simulates, you know, the ground going up. The peat moss will actually burn a little bit and create a little bit of a fireball.
Those are going into holes that are pre-dug over the wall here. They are tied to these orange cables that you see, which are electrical matches, which is an electrical igniting system to catch the black powder and create the effect in the explosion. Over here we have the finale, which will be the biggest and most bright explosion explosion that you see is essentially a bunch of smaller effects that will go off almost simultaneously to create one big effect, and this will really be the ooh-ah factor.
For timing, that's obviously tricky, but you bring it down to a simple method to just keep everybody on the same page. It's just like a counting method. So, you know, we start at 0, and then eventually the drone gets to a certain time, and that certain team knows to go off at, let's say, 5 seconds.
Tu vas te diriger vers là, peut-être?
Non, parce qu'eux sont super importants. On a-tu un autre bullhorn?
Fire 1!
19,
Fire 2!
21,
Fire 3!
22, 23.
If you just look at one of these reenactors, just stand there and look at them. Everything from like the buttons that are on their clothing to their shoes, the makeup that goes on certain people, it's just unbelievable.
My camp name is Dinanunihagwe. That means crane in Mohawk. The way I painted today is to replicate the way the Mohawks would paint in 1812. Though that being said, in 1812 it was a lot simpler than this, but I'm representing something from an earlier time today.
But then there's what they're carrying, the guns, the cannons, it's all real. Like, it's all what they actually used back then.
I have a trade shirt, which would have been given to the indigenous people by the European settlers. I'm wearing a pair of leather leggings with garters that are made out of wool. I have on me a sash underneath my belt with a bunch of pouches. So one of them is called a possibilities pouch. It's where I keep my effects. And then this would be my shot pouch, it's wolf, because I'm representing Wolf Clan. I have my musket, flintlock. It's a trade musket, so it's not the same as the soldiers.
When they're in it, when they're doing it, I feel like they're actually back in 1812, like in their mind. It's almost hard to talk to them normally. For that day, all of us went back to 1812. The stakes were high. I personally kind of felt like we were a losing hockey team. We were constantly getting shut down by weather on the entire shoot. We really were starting to stack up against the end of our window. We had no more days left to redo things. You're not asking 200 people to come back a week later or the next day. It was like right there and then. The sky was doing what I wanted to do. It was kind of moody and broken, but it was threatening to rain. Weather makes things very challenging when you're flying drones. There's a lot of electronics, but beyond that, this lens, if a single drop of water gets on that lens, and I mean it, like a single drop of water gets on that lens, it is extremely expensive to take that off in post. So expensive, when we see it, we just do it again and again and again. People were starting to get into place. It took a really long time to get the choreography and everyone kind of on the same page, but eventually we started to get unified and it started to work. What happened at that exact moment? The sky opened up and it went torrential. It rained so hard that it was raining through the roof of our tents that we sit in. It just felt like absolute loss at that point. In my mind, I was starting to prepare basically like a Braveheart speech. And I look out in the field and there's all our hundreds of reenactors in their like cotton coats from 1812, just getting soaked, but they're just standing there actually like soldiers. I recall running out of the tent and just saying thank you so much, just hang in there. And every single one of them was like, we're used to it, it's all good. Nobody wanted to go home without getting the shot. And I kind of just felt that, like we all just felt that we would know when it was time to call it.
That day was really tough for us because, you know, rain was on and off and we were trying to make the right calls, like light-wise as well. We have a whole pyro team here who are here to make explosions for us, and that's awesome, but you don't see explosions in the day. So it needs to be in the dark, yet not too dark, because if you go too dark, well, we can't see the people that are on this battlefield. It was very tense because there was only really one moment in the day when this shot could happen.
Special effects crew, can you confirm that you've gone hot and we're ready for a take?
Here we go.
Turn up! 3, 2, 1, action!
21, 22,
Fire
23, 24, 25,
Fire 2!
26, 27, 28, 29,
Fire 3!
30, 1, 2,
Fire 4!
5, 6, 7, and out.
the shot.
Quiet. Cool.
Good job.
Woo! Yeah.
Amazing job.
And the flying in the dark.
We finally got that one moment in the day where everything worked out magically.
We did it. Thank you so much. I can't tell you.
My pleasure.
how good that
I was
feels.
going to say, it got better and better, and the last take apparently was just perfect. So I'm happy we did our job.
We're so relieved. It's crazy to think back, just a few months ago we were out here walking around with Mike, just kind of imagining ourselves, how about we just put a cannon here and about this and that? And we just had a moment today just appreciating that, it's all happening and everyone's here. We could not have imagined it go down any better, I think, in the end.
That scene is unbelievable, and I truly, truly believe that it will be a very long time before it ever sees a comparison in another flying film out there. It's just never been done to that scale.